The ChatGPT maker OpenAI has reported a rising trend in misuse of its AI models to create fake content. And this includes articles and social media posts designed to sway elections. According to the report, criminals are increasingly using AI tools, including ChatGPT, to conduct illegal activities such as creating and debugging malware and generating fake content for websites and social media platforms. The company has said that this year till date it has managed to foil 20 such attempts, including a set of ChatGPT accounts in August that were used to produce articles on topics that included the 2024 US elections. So despite of these incidents, OpenAI has confirmed that none of the efforts to influence global elections have gained significant traction or large audiences. Meanwhile, concerns are growing about the use of AI tools and social media sites to generate and to propagate fake content that is related to elections, especially as the United States is getting up for its presidential election on the 5th of November. Now, according to the US Department of Homeland Security, Russia, Iran and China are using generative AI to disseminate fake or divisive information to influence the 2024 US elections. All right, now to give us more perspective in terms of what, of course, is happening in the American elections, we're being joined by Ms. Joanna LeBlanc, who's a political analyst and a foreign relations expert. She's joining us live from Washington, D.C. Now, Ms. LeBlanc, this is an election that is being watched across the world. And one thing that I want you to weigh in on is the staggering disparity in the amount of funds that these two candidates seem to have raised. Now, Kamala Harris is in fact late into the race, has managed to put together $1 billion. She's bringing in a lot of this big money, the backing of the billionaires, while Donald Trump, on the other hand, who's seen as someone who's very business friendly, has managed to generate a war chest of just about $300+ million. Are we to now read that the big money in America, the super PACs, are all backing Kamala Harris?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think that what's important to note is that, one, by the time that the election gets here, which will be on November 5th, Vice President Harris would have spent about $2 billion, or at least have raised at least $2 billion. And that is an unprecedented amount of money that will be going into our elections. And I think it's important for Vice President Harris to raise this much money. And the reason being is that literally, she's had only 100 days to run for the president of the United States and had very little name recognition, even though she once served as a United States Senator, the second Black woman, a woman of color, to have served in that role. She's previously held major positions in the state of California as Attorney General and so on. But yet, the public wasn't necessarily familiar with her. And although she is currently the Vice President of the United States of America, but as we know, the Vice President's role is not to overshadow the President. So I think all of the dollars that you see going into her campaign, whether it's coming from Super PAC, which is important, but there's a lot of money also coming from individuals, like people who are truly interested in seeing that she wins this election.
You know, a lot of people around the world do not know, but lobbying in American politics is pretty much legal. So when you have these super PACs who are investing so much in the campaign of Kamala Harris, now there is going to be a lot of interest in knowing as to who is backing Kamala Harris at this moment. Now, in contrast, Donald Trump is managed to get just about $310 million. So the question is this: Kamala Harris, till the time that she became the contender, was not seen as a vice president who performed so superbly well. But now the surveys seem to indicate that Kamala Harris is now pulling ahead of Donald Trump. What has she done right in the last 90-odd days that she's been in the race?
I think that one, she's had a great team. to campaign on her behalf. And she herself has been out knocking on every door. And I think she's very committed to not leaving anyone behind, right? She's very visible in the community. She's very visible across the country. And the campaign has had a robust public relations plan to go out to make sure that the public understands her policy position, right? And also for the public to understand who she is as a candidate and what she will bring to the table if she were to become president of the United States. So I think communications-wise, her team has done an excellent job.
All right. And also with respect to the black voters within the United States of America, there was in fact this campaign, of sorts, which said, I don't stand with Kamala Harris because she does not stand with me. This was something that the black women came out and said. Do you think she's been able to now convince the black voters in America that she is the person that they'll have to rely their faith in, because probably she has their best interest that she, when she becomes the president, will push through with? So has she succeeded with the black voters?
Well, first and foremost, African Americans in America have historically voted a Democrat. The last election with Joe Biden and Donald Trump, black women voted 90% for Joe Biden. And I don't see a shift in that this election. I think black women in particular are going to support Vice President Harris, and they have galvanized, they have mobilized to help her win this election. In fact, in addition to that, you have different groups within the American public that have created, their own network. Like, for example, you see LGBTQI+ for Kamala Harris. You see black women for Harris. You see black men for Harris. You see lawyers for Harris. You see doctors for Harris. Because I think there's a momentum, and I think people are trying to seize on the momentum, but also to look at who her opponent is.
All right, we'll have to leave there. Thank you very much indeed, Ms. LeBlanc, for joining us and getting us that perspective there.
Thank you so much.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.